Number 15. Wild. Travel films really do get people thinking about going to certain places, and this one is no exception. Wild is based on the true story of Cheryl Strayed, a famous hiker who travels up the Pacific Crest Trail back in the mid-90s, as a method of therapy after going through a divorce, the death of her mother, and countless harsh years throughout her life beforehand. The film is presented in a multi-linear narrative, as we follow the hike chronologically, but cut to flashbacks of the days that Cheryl spent with her friends and family, both good and bad. Jean-Marc Vallée is a fantastic director, as he truly knows how to handle character studies, much like with last year's Dallas Buyers Club. He lets us get to know these people every step of the way, and that these people have flaws they need to conquer. Reese Witherspoon gives one of the best performances of her entire career, as Cheryl. Throughout every step of this hike, you really feel like you're on the journey with her. She admits that this film was the hardest film she's ever made, but in the end, it was worth it. This was a passion project, and she more than deserved her Best Actress nomination. Laura Dern also gives out a fantastic performance as Cheryl's mother. Despite everything bad happening to this woman, she still tries to stay strong for the people she's got left in her life. Dern really managed to pull through with this emotional performance, and I'm actually glad she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress as well. Wild was a true experience for me. Watching this film, it actually makes me feel like going on a hike to the Pacific Crest Trail myself. If that's not a sign of a great film, I don't know what is. If you get a chance, definitely check it out.
What if I was sorry? But if I could go back in time, I wouldn't do a single thing differently. What if all those things I did were the things that got me here?
Turn away.
Number 14. Snowpiercer. If there is a film that shows us just how good of an actor Chris Evans is, and that there is still original films being made to this day, look no further than with Snowpiercer. One word to describe this film is brutal. This is one of the most brutal and awe-striking films that has ever been directed. The action scenes, the characters, everything about this film is brutal to the bone. And it's funny because this never got a nationwide release in theaters, and it wasn't until people like me had to watch it on Netflix that I truly understand why people were loving it. But I digress. Every single one of the cast members manages to really give out their best, from Sung Kang-ho as the specialist who designed the security features of the train, to Octavia Spencer, the determined mother who lost her son from one of the guards, Jamie Bell as the second-in-command and best friend to the main character, John Hurt as the spiritual leader of it all, Ed Harris, the man behind the train, and there's a great performance from Go-Ah Sung, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, as the daughter of the mechanic who designed the train. They all do really good jobs, but the one who really does give out the best is Chris Evans as Curtis Everett, the leader of the revolution. This guy really pulled out everything, and it's without a doubt his best performance. Overall, Snowpiercer was fantastic. If this film is still on Netflix, go watch it. Seriously, you will not regret it. Number 13. Nightcrawler. Okay, he was snubbed for Prisoners last year, and now he was snubbed again for the second time in a row for Nightcrawler. Screw you, Academy! In Nightcrawler, we follow an unemployed perfectionist named Louis Bloom, who is desperate for work and money. After passing a crime scene and seeing a camera crew record the event for their news station, he decides to film local crime scenes independently and bring them to a rival news station. He's able to get good details both on and off screen, but soon becomes overly obsessed with the job to disturbing lengths. Right off the bat, this is Jake Gyllenhaal's best performance, and hell, for the whole film, I didn't even guess this was Jake Gyllenhaal. All I saw in this film was Louis Bloom. That is what you call really damn good acting, people. As the film goes on, we learn this guy is not a society man, and seeing those buggy eyes throughout the film, you're left wondering what the hell is going on in his head. We want to root for this guy, but at the same time you feel like we shouldn't because he's doing things that no one would ever do. Not only that, but the scene where he loses his shit after he failed sent chills down my spine like he was actually gonna go murder somebody. Again, screw you, Academy. Renee Russo plays the head of the news station that Lewis goes to, and she does a great job too. She has the presence that she is someone in power, and the scenes where she's with Gyllenhaal are fantastic. I love seeing these two work off of each other, and how she's trying to let him down easy, but he's just got her wrapped around his finger with a quick response and how to turn things around. Riz Ahmed plays Rick, Bloom's intern, and the scenes with him are also investing. As time goes on, we see this character go from being someone trying to get used to the job to a guy who's learning fast and adapting to Bloom's style of thinking. Maybe he could have reached up to his level at some point. I love characters who can use another's techniques against them, making conflicts really interesting. The film was written and directed by Dan Gilroy, Renee Russo's husband, who is best known for screenplays such as Real Steel, Chasers, Free Jack, and The Bourne Legacy. For his directing debut, it's a pretty impressive feat. If I didn't know who was directing this film, I could have sworn this was a David Fincher or Christopher Nolan film. This definitely feels like a film that Fincher would have done in the 90s. The cinematography is also fantastic, and some of the shots of LA are just beautiful to watch. And the crime scenes are pretty brutal, but in a good way. Give it a watch, you won't regret it.
I want something people can't turn away from.
911, what's your emergency?
We want all of it. Oh my God!
I think Lou is inspiring all of us to reach a little higher.
Number 12. Gone Girl. Based on the novel by Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl tells of Nick Dunn, a college professor whose wife, Amy, goes missing. After witnessing a bizarre crime scene, he tries to search for her with the whole town thinking that maybe he killed her, leaving us to something we don't know about Nick, and many other things that we don't know about Amy either. The marketing team that advertised this movie did a fantastic job of how to set the tone for what this could possibly be. One minute you'll think it'll go in this direction, only to pull you into another direction that you didn't think about. Kudos to the people who made the trailers because I really like the surprises that happened in this film. Gillian Flynn admitted that the film was going to be different from the book, which would piss people off if not for the fact that Flynn wrote the script herself. Ben Affleck really delivers the performance of his career. Nick Dunn is not a good person as you would expect, and there are some things that would probably make you hate this guy. It's almost as if Affleck is playing a parody on himself 10 years ago, and he does a great job of it. And it really bugs me that people are still giving this guy shit even after he gave us 3 great films as a director. People, he was one of the 3 guys that helped give Robin Williams an Oscar. I think a little respect is overdue. Rosamund Pike as Amy Elliott Dunn steals the show, however, because of the secrets we learn about her throughout the film. No spoilers. Go watch it. It is fantastic. Out of all the nominations that this film was snubbed for, I'm really glad that Pike wasn't one of them. She deserved her Best Actress nomination. Overall, Gone Girl was a fantastic film to watch. Another film you could add to David Fincher's filmography of fantastic films.
To tell me,
How was your marriage,
Are
Nick?
you asking me if I killed my wife?
Man of my dreams. This man of mine may kill me.
What about my son? Nick!
This man may kill me. In her own words, this man may truly kill me.
You ever hear the expression, simplest answer is often the correct one?
Actually, I've never found that to be true.
Number 11. The Babadook. Hands down, the best horror film of the year, and one that I'm glad I saw in time. The Babadook tells the story of a widowed mother trying to cope with the loss of her husband, all the while dealing with her very imaginative son. When the son picks out a book he wants read to him, called Mr. Babadook, the mother and son start to deal with supernatural elements with a bad case of insomnia that may or may not be in their heads. What makes this film refreshing is that it's a psychological horror film, and builds off of atmosphere and build-up rather than some cheap jump scares like shit films like Ouija and most found footage films. Not only that, but the Babadook is such an original idea that it really made me tense up whenever I had the lights off. People often complain about this movie because you never actually see the Babadook fully lit. This isn't just a generic creature feature, this is a suspenseful and well-developed horror film because the scariest thing is fear of the mind. The Babadook could look like anything, and the only glimpses we get out of the entire film is from the book. Hey, Hollywood, this is real horror. Take notes. The performances in the film were great, but Essie Davis as the mother steals the show. She is a magnificent actress, and I really do hope to see her do more films as time goes on. Noah Wiseman as Samuel, the son. Yeah, I did think he was kind of annoying, but I didn't let it bother me too badly. The director of this film, Jennifer Kent, has said that because the film was successful, she's actually going to publish the book that was featured in the film. Not only am I awaiting that, but I'm also awaiting this woman's next film.